Ladies and gentlemen, imagine you're walking down a road. To your left are a row of houses, and one house looks out of place. It's all pink on the outside, with drawings of Mr. Blobby on it. He kind of blends into the paint because he's also pink. You decide to walk into this house. You're breaking and entering into this pink house with Mr. Blobby, and you realise you have fallen through a rift between worlds. You have now entered the silly dimension. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the silly dimension. What is the silly dimension? Well, it's where us two silly boys live. But most importantly, it's a podcast. This is the first episode of the Silly Dimension podcast where we talk about anything and everything: movies, TV, film, music, comics, anything that keeps us entertained.
This is just our outlet. This is just our outlet for everything we enjoy in the world.
Yeah, exactly. A place where we can just be as stupid as we like, in a place free of judgment.
No, not as stupid. Not as stupid.
As silly
as we like.
Sorry, I've
This is the silly dimension.
Oh, didn't know we'd entered the sultry dimension. So
I'm always in the sultry dimension.
So, I guess we should introduce ourselves.
That's getting cut.
No, I'm leaving. That's been left in. This is raw, uncut, completely uncut footage. Only because on YouTube Editor you can only trim off the ends on either side, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know how to work it. I just trimmed the end off. Anyway, we'll introduce ourselves.
Yes, so, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Cameron Duncan. I am working this show. And with me is my good friend, Jake McFarlane.
We are two full-time residents of the silly dimension.
Yes.
Outside of that, we are student journalists and best buds.
Who are always at it.
True, we're never not at it. I've come out of retirement. Remember I retired from being at it? The end of last year?
I didn't think that would last long.
It was a pro wrestling retirement. I'm done. I'm back. So we've got some topics to get through here. First, not first and foremost, we'll leave that for the end, but most importantly, this is a sort of preview show for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But I have one more topic that I would like to cover first, and I've not told Cameron about it because I would like to see his raw, honest reaction to this. So, you're aware of the pop punk and emo revival?
Indeed.
And how, like people like MGK, Mod Sun, Travis Barker, Avril Lavigne have all been like bringing, pop punk and emo to this new like field where you got people like Ian Dior, Trippie Redd, all those like young new artists, and Jaden making pop punk. What would you say if I was to tell you there is a similar movement happening within butt rock? If you're unfamiliar with butt rock, are you familiar with butt rock?
No.
Butt rock is the music that came just after nu metal died out, and it's a little bit too heavy to be played on normal radio, but a little bit too soft to be considered metal. So it's played on all those stations that are like 47.9. We play nothing but rock, and then they call it butt rock. So it's bands like Papa Roach and most importantly Nickelback. What would you say if I was to tell you Nickelback were going to become cool again?
Well, firstly, I would ask you when Nickelback became uncool, because how you remind me has been my alarm since 2012, I think. Just waking up every morning. Couldn't cut it as a wise man, didn't make it as a poor man stealing. It just sets the day up right, doesn't it?
It really does. But what would you say if you were to learn that Nickelback were once again becoming, because it's one of those things, every 10 years you've got like the sort of gatekeeping tastemakers who write for like places like Pitchfork and all those other like places of good taste, and then they make fun of what the kids are listening to, and then 10 years later those kids who are making fun of are the tastemakers, and it always does a full circle, like Bring Me the Horizon, or that band that everyone was like, oh, look at those guys and their skinny jeans, idiots, and now they've had like 2 or 3 number 1 albums. Nickelback are circling back round because of a sort of grassroots movement on the internet.
I suppose I'm excited. I mean, Worst case scenario. It's bad.
So,
Best case scenario. It's really bad.
so I don't know necessarily if Nickelback
And
themselves
then we get
will
another.
be.
Look at this graph. Just
I
more
mean,
memes out of
I,
Nickelback.
I feel like Nickelback will probably capitalize on this and release an album through this, but the big sort of players in this whole scene are like Mario Jura and Jerris Johnson. He did that
No.
song "Dang" that was big on TikTok. Like the banjo, like the banjo trap beat.
Oh yeah.
That was him. And people like commented on it a bunch, saying that he kind of sounds like Chad Kroger and he looks a little bit like Chad Kroger. So he got Chad Kroger on a remix.
Oh well.
And he made a sort of butt rock / trap reversion of Last Resort with Papa Roach.
I think I heard that actually. I think I heard that.
The Papa Roach one was really, really good. But yeah, we're approaching a time where, obviously I've been a big supporter of bringing back. Well, I was a big supporter of bringing back mullets, and then I didn't get a mullet, and then I cut my undercut, and I fucked my chances of getting a mullet, and then everyone brought back mullets without me, so I'm fucking raging with that. But in place of mullets, I've also been a big supporter of bringing back the like 3/4 length Dickies shorts from early 2000s pop punk.
Okay.
And I was waiting for them to come back. Now we got the pop punk revival. I thought it was going to happen, but with Nickelback and all these people making big comebacks, I think it's going to be like bedazzled affliction jeans. I'm going to need to get in on.
Yeah, it's going to be like it's going to be like it's going to be like bedazzled jeans and boot cuts and
it's like
not more
so
boot cuts.
so yeah, we'll I'll get like some jeans and I'll bedazzle like a tiger on the thigh.
You don't act like you have the skill to put a tiger with bedazzles.
I'll write the word tiger on thigh.
Just drop my microphone. Lovely.
This is a professional podcast environment. Pick your shit up.
We're both in full-time education studying podcastery, and this is what they teach us.
They teach us to throw your mic on the floor.
It helps you make a point. You know how people do like mic drops? A mic throw is like a mic
That's
drop,
much more emphatic.
more effective.
That's so much more emphatic.
Like, imagine you're sitting there at a political conference. Your big man, Mr. President of the United States, is making a point. And then at the end, he ends it going, and that's why I put Muslim children in camps. And then instead of mic dropping, he
throws it at a liberal.
Exactly. He just causes liberal tears.
Yeah. That as well, I was going to say, the big tradition in rock and roll is not just dropping your guitar, you smash fuck with it. Exactly. So why do we not drop kick microphones?
Well, this isn't my microphone.
That's
so
a good
there's
point.
One reason.
That is a very good point. So yeah, do we have any other topics to cover? I just wanted to get the butt rock revival out the way.
Nickelback's coming back. Can Smash Mouth come back?
I don't think Smash Mouth ever truly went away.
That's true.
And I don't know. I don't know what genre. Are they? They're not ska punk.
To me,
I think they're closest to ska punk out of everything.
To me, Smash Mouth and Nickelback, while being very different bands that create very different music, have very similar vibes to me.
Yeah,
so I would class as their own genre.
Do you know what though? Right, I think they give off like similar vibes, but also for different audiences. You know what I mean? Like, you know how I'm trying to think. There was something I saw. I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, it was that Zack Snyder is the XXX Tentacion of directors.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But like I feel like they give off the same vibe, but like in totally different camps like that. Like for Smash Mouth, it's like stoner dudes who still think they're 16 even though they're 47. And for Nickelback, it's like grown men with a 18-year-old girlfriend and 2 kids and a divorce that they don't talk about because they've now got an 18-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah, both people living in fantasies.
Although, if I had to pick one to save, and the other one gets cast out of existence, so all the memes and everything are gone, I don't care how good the graph is. I'm saving Smash Mouth 100 times over because I actually genuinely I love
I
Smash
thought
Mouth.
you were going to say Nickelback there, and I was like, are you honestly trying to get rid of all the Shrek memes?
No. But on top of that, Smash Mouth also just genuinely have some bangers. There's
You
like
actually.
there's a Nickelback song. I don't remember the name of it, but there's a guy watching YouTube called the Punk Rock NBA, and he was who sort of put me onto the butt rock. I knew it was coming, but he was the one that like properly like broke it. I heard in Jerris Johnson stuff it sounded a little bit butt rocky, and then he was like, he actually did a song with Chad Kroger. But there was like one thing he was talking about. I think it's in the most hated bands videos. He's talking Nickelback, and he's like, a big reason people don't like Nickelback is they're just a bit weird. And there's a Nickelback where the Nickelback song, I don't know the song and I don't know the lyrics, but it's just Chad Kroger getting really close to the mic and like talking really sleazily about sex. He's like, I'm gonna stick it in your butt, yeah. And that's a whole Nickelback song, and I've never listened to it. I've only heard that one.
Tell me that song isn't in your sex playlist.
No, my sex playlist is a Cantina song over and over again for 9 hours.
That's my pattern, you know it is.
No, because I've had that pattern since 2017 or before. That's the first time I acted on that pattern by putting it on whilst my housemate was having sex and having music on his Xbox. Why would you put it on a hackable device? That's my question. But yeah, here's my question: What defunct genre of the past do you see making a comeback?
Do I see making a comeback, or do I want to make a comeback?
Let's go both, and we'll put it in the context of like TikTok kids making weird like rap influenced remakes of it, the way that like pop punk has like Ian Dior and Jaden, and like butt rock has Jerris Johnson. Because I want nu metal back. I've been saying this for years. I'm done. I'm well and truly past the stage of pretending that Limp Bizkit don't fucking slap. Limp Bizkit are great. Before we came on this call, I was listening to Limp Bizkit.
Well, fair play. I mean, to be honest, I could see that happening as well.
And also, nu metal was like very close with rap, so to bring it in with like a sort of trap sound, I don't think it would take that much.
I'd say like early 2000s, heavily cocaine influenced pop. I could see that coming back with TikTok.
It kind of is though, with like hyperpop.
I suppose. You're throwing around all these music words, and I'm like, yes, I understand.
Hyperpop's like 100 gecs, and you know that I'm on a sugar crush. No, that one. That song.
Okay. What about
I think you know what I would love to see come
back. I was about to sing the Fortnite song, but I forgot the lyrics.
You want the trap remix of American Boy Fortnite Party?
Yes.
It probably exists. Oh, did I send you the trap remix of I Got It All Along?
No.
Oh, it's amazing. It's not like set to a video. It's just like a dude like in his studio, and he's like, I don't know how to edit video, but I made this, and it's just him filming himself like going nuts.
How do you watch this, man?
It's amazing. Do you have any other fun topics to talk about, or should we just move on from the butt rock revival? Is there anything else silly in the world?
I can't think of anything else silly going on in the world right now.
Yeah, the world's a bit dark and depressing these days. A bit too. There's nothing.
Especially this week.
Especially this week has been rough.
So Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Let's jump on to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So the way that the Silly Dimension podcast came out, because I mean the Silly Dimension always exists. It has always been there. It runs parallel to your reality, and we live there.
It's been around since the dawn of time. Physicists speak of dark energy and dark matter. What they really mean is silly energy and silly matter. You see, this dimension runs parallel to the one you think. I'm getting too far off track now.
I think you misspoke. Definitely silly energy, but it's not silly matter. It is indeed silly matter from Cars.
Yes.
Right. So the way this came about is we're both journalism students, and we reviewed WandaVision every week on a podcast for the student website. And then eventually they told us, they were like, hey, we want these podcasts to be 20 minutes. And we were like, okay, we'll try. Never able to condense it to 20 minutes. Not a chance.
I think most of the time it took us 20 minutes to start talking about WandaVision. So
yeah, there was a lot of waffle, a lot of preamble, a lot of going off topic. But we're here.
A lot of dimension breaking through.
Yeah. So we're here now for this one. This is, like I say, a sort of intro to the podcast. I get to know your hosts. Get to know the new hosts of your favourite Drive Time Radio. My favourite songs for Drive Time are Michael Bublé on repeat. Just Michael Bublé. I will crash my car into a gang of school children if I'm behind the wheel and I'm not listening to Michael Bublé.
Very nice. My favourite Drive Time track is I Want to Die by Harley Poe.
And then obviously, number 2, I Think I'm Going to Kill Myself by Elton John.
Yes.
What tune, by the way?
Just a little suicide.
It's
That
honestly
song
such a tune. Oh, it's so good.
You know, the worst thing is it's for the people of the podcast. My roommate is a massive Elton John fan, and so I'm sitting there trying to get to sleep at like 2 a.m. and all I hear faintly through the wall is I think I'm gonna kill myself.
Especially this season.
A little suicide. And it's very, very unnerving.
Very off-putting. But yeah, to bring us back, there you've just saw the levels in which we can divert from the path.
Yes. So, Falcon, the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. So I watched the 2 trailers about an hour ago. And it's only 6 episodes, you said?
Yeah, only 6 this one.
But I think this has clearly a much higher budget than WandaVision.
The budget for this has been likened to that of Game of Thrones season 8. So, and I think for that they were getting about $12 million.
Yeah, it was a crazy amount of money.
Insane.
Yeah.
And considering Falcon and the Winter Soldier has less episodes, that's more money per episode.
Yeah, and as well, it won't be, and as well considering that it won't be recouping any of that money through ad revenue.
Yeah. Well, I suppose neither does HBO.
Suppose.
I think that's how HBO works.
I think, yeah, but are they not though? Well, because they're like a premium TV channel, whereas Disney Plus is now £8 a month, which I know is worldwide. I think they've got. I think they've just surpassed 100 million subscribers, like paying customers, which is mad. Because they only launched a year ago.
I think by 2024, they think they'll have more than Netflix.
Yeah, they launched in what? They launched Lockdown 1.
In the UK, they did. They launched like 4 months earlier in America.
Yeah.
And the rest of the world, actually. It was just...
because it's now actually a day that I've been... Oh, pardon me. A day that I've been in... Or a year, sorry. Since I've had to abandon normality. Which has been fun. But yeah.
A year since I made an arse of myself and spewed beer foam at my nose in front of a lassie I fancied in a pub. Ugh, them's was the days.
I'd give anything to be spewing beer foam at my nose in a pub right now. But of course I can, because there's no coronavirus in the silly dimension.
There's also no pubs in the silly dimension, it's a bit of an oversight.
Yeah, we'll need to build them. The only illness in the silly dimension is scurvy, because I think it sounds funny.
Scurvy is pretty funny.
Yeah, especially when Jordan Peterson gave himself scurvy by refusing to eat nothing but beef for 3 months.
You know what makes scurvy even funnier is the way to not get scurvy is literally just eat something green.
Yeah. The best thing about that, because I often think about Jordan Peterson giving himself scurvy and how he did it to himself. He's been interviewed about it by a woman, and you can tell he's not happy because he's like, I need to talk to a woman. And she was, are you still on your all beef diet? And he's fucking bursting out of this suit. The suit was about as tight as that time that Phil got the suit in Modern Family, and he said, the guy at the store said I look nice, and he would know he looked like a Mumford & Son. Except Ty Burrell is like in good shape, whereas Jordan Peterson, he's a very good looking man as well. But like the suit looked about as tight as that. But this is Jordan Peterson, who already more than likely looked like a burst lasagna, who'd been eating nothing but beef for 3 months, and he was all red and he was huge and he was like busting out this suit and he was like refusing to just unbutton it. Where like, the suit was about to unbutton itself.
He looks like one of those hyper-realistic renderings of a Simpsons character.
Oh, he does. But yeah, so this interviewer asked him, she's like, are you still on your all-beef diet? And he just like looks at her. He's like, oh, Yes, unfortunately. Like no one is telling you to do that. You said, I'm going to own the libs and make fun of vegans and eat nothing but beef, and then you got scurvy. And I think he refused to stop as well when he got scurvy, because he was like, I said I would do however many months, and I'm going to do it. Like, fucking grow up.
It's just idiotic at that point.
Imagine as well, like, you want a snack, and you're like, I'm going to get a bag of crisps. No, let me just put a little bit of ground beef in there. Let's fry that up.
Surely after like 2 days, you'd want some fucking.
And you know as well, looking at him, you know that man doesn't season his food.
Oh no, he will literally just eat cooked beef. Like,
yeah, there's no salt, there's no pepper, there's no garlic powder on his steaks, no nothing.
Those are like the most basic things as well, and your man will just be terrible.
Yeah. Anyway, back to
his.
Just everything about him like stresses me out.
Oh yeah. Right, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So,
what are your thoughts?
Off the 2 trailers, I'm a big fan. I saw the photo of what's the other guy. So you got Zemo, and then you got the guy like the American government are pushing to have the shield.
Oh, U.S. agent.
Yeah, U.S. agent. I saw the. Yeah, well, he looks quite cool. Falcon's costume looks amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the blue leather jacket on Bucky. Yeah.
I don't mind it, to be honest.
It's a bit weird. It's a blue leather jacket, you know what I mean?
He's had worse costumes.
Yeah, but it's still a blue leather jacket.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll get destroyed in like episode 3.
Because I know he rips the sleeve off, so we all remember that he's the one with the metal arm and not the one who's flying, even though he won't be the one who's flying.
Yeah.
And then obviously Zemo looks great.
Zemo looks fantastic, man. Daniel Brühl is.
I was going to say Daniel Brühl is incredible.
I cannot wait to see him again.
Yeah, I think. I don't think there's many roles, especially within comic books, that I wouldn't cast Daniel Brühl in. He's off the table for T'Challa, first and foremost. That's like one of the ones off the table that I can't give him.
I don't know, man. I reckon he'd pull it off.
In your version of Black Panther for Daniel Brühl as T'Challa, is he in blackface, or are we just not addressing it?
I don't know what's funnier. We're not addressing it. He is just white Daniel Brühl.
And like Angela Bassett's his ma.
No one talks about it.
Are we still rocking with Angela Bassett as his mother?
Angela Bassett's his mother. Yeah. Letitia Wright's his sister.
No, get her out. She's a turf. Get Letitia right. She's a turf.
Oh, okay. She's a turf anti-vaxxer. You know who we can have in instead? Well, no. Okay, we'll leave it at that. I don't want to keep washing the cast of Black.
I thought it was going to be another black actor, but no. So we just replaced the 2 leads in Black Panther with a white German man, and let me guess who you were going to say. Cam from Modern Family.
Of course. I mean,
with the cuffs and everything. Oh.
You know how they do like Family Guy episodes, and it's like Family Guy Star Wars and stuff. I want them to do a Modern Family episode, but it's all the Modern Family characters are MCU characters.
Who's your everyone in Modern Family? Who are you casting?
Jay is Thanos. That's just.
Yeah, fair.
Phil would be Thor because he's a bit dopey.
See, I'm thinking, right? In fact, I'll let you go through and then I'll run through mine.
Okay. Cam would be the Hulk. Only instead of going Hulk, he turns into Fisbo. Mitch would be Black Widow, probably. I don't know.
Just because he's ginger, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much, just because he's ginger. Who else is there? Gloria. Well, Gloria would have to be... Who would Gloria be? Manny would be Spider-Man. That just tracks.
I thought you were going to say Luke is Spider-Man, but no, of course, yeah. Fair.
Gloria would be Scarlet Witch. Then that would mean Jay would need to be Vision, and that doesn't really work. I don't know. What's your cast? When you go?
Right, so we're in agreement that Jay is Thanos. Phil has got an entrepreneurial spirit. Phil is Iron Man, and he would struggle to fly.
I like that. Okay.
Claire. Claire can just remain as Claire, because Claire is perfect in my eyes.
Very true.
My queen.
Very true, actually.
I did a thing, I saw that thing on Twitter, and it was all the last two celebrities in your camera roll, or the leads in a rom-com, and it was it was Julie Bowen and Princess Diana.
Which is, to be honest, I would watch that.
Oh, I can't believe our Di never got to see Modern Family.
She would have loved it. Oh, I love that. I love those Facebook groups, man.
Oh, it's Princess Diana Keep Her Memory Alive, No Trolls Allowed is the best thing in the world. There's a guy in it. Emmett was showing me a thing the other day. There's a fella in it. Because there's some people who are still there from its early days when it was just like people's divorce mods. Because you can post something funny in there, but nothing will trump like the legitimate, hilarious, like middle-aged divorced women. Oh, wow. Like
people
refusing,
being sincere. Yeah.
Like the ones of like the plate that she eats off to commemorate her, but she like refuses to cover her face, so her spaghetti's just like around her head.
I couldn't believe that, man. Some of them are so just stupid, and you're like, how are people this? Yeah. You know what? Each to their own. Everybody could have their own interests. But
there was Emmett found the thing, and someone posted a photo of Nicola Sturgeon, and was our Di looked amazing in this photo, and then there was like someone who was like a member of the group for real, and he wasn't happy about it, and he was like, "No, it's not Princess Diana. That's wee Nippy. Me." Immediate red flag, wife beater pattern if you call her wee Nippy, by the way. And then Emma went in his profile picture. No, then the guy was like, I don't know what you mean. This is our guy. He goes, no, that's wee Nippy. Fuck up. And then Emma went in his profile, and he had like unironically had like I voted Conservatives like filter across his profile picture. Like fucking grow up. Grow up and stop voting Tory.
That's like, I might actually get you to send me that profile so that whenever I have children, I can show them that as an example of the kind of person to stay away from.
Yeah. Right, we've back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier and our love of
back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
We don't have, to be fair, this is quite good because there's not a lot of footage. We've got a Super Bowl trailer and then like another 2-minute one.
Yeah, there hasn't been much, to be honest.
Which I think is good.
Of Sharon Carter in it, which is good.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that.
I don't know where they'll take our character, but I'm excited to see.
Probably on the mission.
Jake, can you look to your right for me? No, like 90 degrees. You see that window?
I'm actually looking at my shelves.
Look at the window.
That's more than 90 degrees. So,
can you jump out that for me?
Seeing as it was past the 90 degree mark, no. I would have otherwise, but...
Okay.
Haha.
But nah, Zemo's mask. That's what I'm loving, man. The mask.
Yeah.
It's hard to have like a lot of comic accurate costumes because they're so outlandish and stuff. But they've done that really well.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like you said, with the comic accurate costumes, you can only really have Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, and Spider-Man.
Yeah, those are the only ones that really translate properly. Even something like Captain America, you need to update it somehow and make it more modern.
Yeah. And I think whilst Zemo, like, it doesn't look like the comics, which I think is really good. It's quite clearly Marvel putting their spin on it like they've done with everything. But no, I think, everything going in, like, that's built to this point, on top of, like, the cast, I think it's going to be really, really good. What is the plot of it? Do we know much about the plot outside of the fact that they are struggling to come to terms with the fact their best pals died, and they've got the shield, and there's a new guy who the government are like, oh, this is the new Captain America, and Sharon Carter's there?
Well, we know Zemo's doing stuff, and we know I'll be honest, I haven't watched any of the trailers and stuff because this is the one Marvel show. This is the Marvel show I've been most hyped for, to be honest. Well, besides Loki, but this one, and I've been wanting to kind of go into it fresh when the episodes come out next week. So I've not watched much of the trailers and stuff.
So I hadn't even seen anything about it whatsoever, and that's why I watched the trailers, because I've not seen any of it pop up on my
2v6. I'll...
No, Well, I mean, I'm definitely confident considering Marvel's track record and how good WandaVision was.
The IMDb blurb is following the events of Avengers Endgame, Sam Wilson, Falcon, and Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, team up in a global adventure that tests their abilities and their patience. That's all we get. That's actually all we get.
Fair.
So, my guess is Zemo's doing some stuff to try and once and for all destroy the Avengers because that's his shtick, and USA doing some stuff to try and prove he's better than Falcon and Bucky and stuff. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Although I'd like them to use this opportunity with US Agent to start a Dark Avengers. They won't.
Yeah, no, probably not. But it'd be nice. It'd be nice. You know what I was thinking about earlier? Did I send you the thing on TikTok of the guys like pitch for how to bring Fantastic Four in?
Don't think so.
Did I not? I think I sent it this morning. This guy was pitching the idea.
I've maybe just not seen it.
Yeah, this guy was pitching the idea of like how to bring them in, and like he like put in like little snippets of the people he would cast and other things they've been in, and for some reason, this man he got it half right. It was all Krasinski and Blunt.
Yeah,
they seem like a lock, and if they get anyone else, they're gonna have an uphill battle if it's anyone but Krasinski and Blunt. Do you know who he said for Ben and Johnny Storm?
Oh God, who?
Jason Segel, Marshall from How I Met Your Mother for Ben,
okay.
and Joe Keery from Stranger Things for Johnny Storm, which I'm okay with.
I like that.
But But that's the wrong young actor from Stranger Things to play Johnny Storm.
Yeah, it should be
Dacre Montgomery.
Yeah, but I mean, Jason Segel is.
He's not buff. He's not
he doesn't need to be buff. It's all going to be CG anyway.
Yeah, but like at least when they got Jamie Bell in Fan Four Stick, he was like ripped as shit.
Yeah, but I think it's more just the voice. Like I couldn't imagine Jason Segel's.
Yeah, it's like it'd be like getting Gilbert Godfrey to play Thanos.
Yeah, it's just doesn't quite fit, does it?
Yeah, no.
What about, hear me out on this one, Steven Seagal as Ben?
I say we cast the Fantastic Four on like 80s action heroes or people who just have movies where they do a lot of kung fu. We need Jackie Chan in there. Jackie Chan is Reed Richards, obviously.
Helen Mirren is Sue Storm.
Who's
Leslie
like
Nielsen? Leslie Nielsen is oh, the Human Torch.
Oh. Yeah. So to bring it back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Less of a diversion than before because at least we were staying Marvel related.
True, I suppose.
What are your expectations for the show? Maybe not plot wise, but what do you think that, like, where do you think this will leave the characters in the end, and where do you want it to leave the characters when it's done?
I think it's going to be a hell of a lot deeper than folk think, considering
how writing was
spectacular, and I think it's properly actually going to explore Sam and Bucky like trying to cope without Steve.
Yeah,
because for years it's been them going around with Steve, so it's going to be a change.
And I think I think everything they've showed us so far will be episode 1 and 2. All the stuff we've been
100%.
shown so far.
It'll be before episode 3, I reckon.
Because, I mean, I imagine the plot is going to go very much like this. We lost our pal. I lost my best pal. No, I lost my best pal. It's the same guy. Then they get sent on a mission and they're given the shield for some reason, almost as if to make fun of them. Okay. Or like they've been shown the shield as like a symbol. And then they're like, I don't like you. Well, I don't like you. And then very quickly they're going to realise they're actually a lot similar than they think. And to be honest, I can see this leading... See, I don't think Marvel think either of those characters has the sway to lead a movie.
Yeah. Together, yes. But...
That's what I'm saying. I think depending on how well this goes for them, this might lead to them greenlighting a Falcon and Winter Soldier movie. Maybe they have like a cool team name, like Team We Miss Our Friend.
I like that, but I don't think they'll do the whole... like you're saying, giving them the shield as like a joke, because the last time we see the shield is at the end of Endgame, and it's being given to Sam. So I think it's going to be a lot more. The government wants the shield from Sam and Bucky. Sam and Bucky are not giving them the shield, so the government is sending them on these missions that they would rather send the US.
Yeah, I suppose.
And it's going to be building like animosity. I reckon. I don't know if he's actually building it. Is Thunderbolt build?
I'm not sure. You know what I would like though? There was one thing I realised earlier, and it's one thing I think a show like this could definitely play off.
What's that?
Is the MCU has covered a lot of divisive topics and a lot of sort of awkward to talk about things, but they've never covered class. Class has never played into it.
That's a good point, actually.
And I noticed actually, because I was watching an old Nando V Movies video, like a One Small Change to Infinity War. And it was just adding a couple of lines of dialogue to Thanos' chat with Doctor Strange. That pretty much is, because it's very clear that Thanos, from his reason for wanting to snap, was probably a poor man on Titan who had been, or he'd at least seen the injustices of the class divide on his planet. And when it came time for, in his mind, to save the planet by killing half of everyone, instead of the rich, the elite on the Titan, deciding, we'll just get rid of the poor people, he was like, it's got to be totally indiscriminate. And just adding a couple of lines of dialogue into that would have, from what was said in that video, would have made it would have added like another layer to an already incredibly deep character. But class is one thing that they've never touched on. Like, Tony's a billionaire, T'Challa's a king, Thor's a king.
The only Avenger I can really think of that isn't in some way superbly wealthy is Peter.
Yeah, and Steve as well to an extent, but he's like sort of risen above.
Steve. Steven's rich. Steven's rich.
No, Steve.
No. Oh, Steve. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, because that was another thing he pointed out. It was like, we've got two kings, we've got a billionaire, we've got like a neurosurgeon. Like, they're all like rich. Like, Steve was also working class, but now he's sort of come back to this world where he's a symbol more than anything, and sort of exists out with the class divide because he is Captain America. And I think using this to look at the fucking horrible reality that is the military-industrial complex out in America, I think we are very interesting.
There's no chance Disney's going that political with it.
I don't think they'll go like proper down that route, but I think if they start exploring some of the themes of class, especially within this, I think it's the one that lends itself to exploring class the most outside of a grounded Spider-Man story, which I've said before, I don't think we're going to get until we get Miles in the MCU. I think they've made the stakes too big with Peter that until they greenlight a Miles project.
I think Black Widow will probably explore it a bit as well, because it'll go into her like history and stuff.
Yeah,
but
true. But
it would be funny to explore it in this, because obviously it's two characters who are very so Sam was he was just a soldier. He was just a regular guy who then went and was a veteran and helped people out at a vet hospital. And then Bucky was just an infantryman. He was just a soldier.
Yeah.
So both of these people are very working class backgrounds. So
Yeah,
it's
and
a
I
good
think
opportunity for them.
as well, if they look at it doesn't need to be as overt as I would write it to be, because I'm a filthy stinking commie.
Yeah.
But if they look at the fact that the US agent is being groomed for all the success, taking the spotlight off of these two guys because they don't fit the bill, they don't fit the mold, they don't fit what the army and the government want to portray. I don't think it needs to be explicitly about class, but I think they can weave in some really interesting themes because realistically, how many people
We could also
left?
add in a race debate as well, but I don't think Disney would do that, especially right now.
Well, sorry, I missed that. What was
I
the?
said they could also add in a race debate, obviously, with Falcon being African
Yeah,
American. But
yeah,
I don't think Disney would do that right now. I think they'd get too much stick if they handled it wrong.
yeah.
And they're very, very non-political.
Yeah, I think because I'm trying to think of Marvel characters left that you could go down a sort of class
Well,
thing with.
Moon Knight as well would be a good one because he is a billionaire, but with the different personalities and stuff, it does open that door to have this exploration. But we're not writers. We're not
Yeah,
screenwriters.
I just like I say, I think
Oh, we are.
this is it's the one sort of big topic they've never tackled. They've not tackled racism, but they tackled race and pride within your race.
Yeah,
In
stuff,
with
yeah.
Black Panther, and they tackled nationalism in Ragnarok. As I found out, as I watched that movie easily 10 times, didn't notice it until
I don't think Disney had any idea with that. I think that was just Taika being
I think
Taika.
that's just Taika Waititi being Taika Waititi because pretty much all of his movies are about the rise of the far right, no matter how subtly it is. See, Taika Waititi just won a Grammy.
Did he?
Jojo Rabbit won the best motion picture soundtrack Grammy.
Would Jojo Rabbit came out 2019 though?
But I think it was past the point.
Ah, okay, fair.
It was past the thing you did, but yeah. Yeah, so he just won a Grammy yesterday.
Big up Taika. Woo!
Honestly, I love him so much.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
see the next Avengers movie. I want it to be directed by Taika.
yeah,
I think that would be instantly good.
I think as well because Infinity War and Endgame was written by almost all the different directors that are instrumental to the MCU right now.
Yeah.
James Gunn and the Guardians team wrote all the scenes with the Guardians in Infinity War.
Yeah.
I just think if you give Taika a group of characters that he can have fun with, I think put him and James Gunn in the writer's room and just let them.
I mean, to be honest with you, with Love and Thunder, I'm surprised James Gunn didn't come in for a bit because there was the first, I'm guessing anyway, the first half hour of the movie will be with the Guardians. So
Yeah. I think if there's any, especially now with what we've got with Thor since Taika took over, because let's be honest, Thor didn't land.
He was a bit boring.
Yeah, he was good. He was good under Joss Whedon in the two Avenger movies, I thought. But apart from that,
yeah,
just a bit naff. But I think if there's any writers that are linked to characters in the way that they are, that could just swap over and still put out something fun and serviceable, it would be Taika Waititi and James Gunn.
Definitely. Very. Obviously, Thor and the Guardians are different characters and stuff, but similar vibes are taking them for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the one thing with Taika is I don't know how well he would handle writing a scene with all the Guardians, because if you watch a Taika Waititi film, it's all about one character having big standout moments in amongst everything, like Korg, or Korg not printing off pamphlets, or all the times he was Hitler in Jojo Rabbit. Honestly, what a fucking banging film.
So good, man.
It's I just remember hearing about it. It was Taika Waititi's making a film set in wartime Germany where he is a little boy's imaginary friend and he's also Hitler, and I was like, yes.
How did that get greenlit? That's what I want to know. Who gave Taika Waititi money for that?
Because he's doing he's doing a whole one for you, one for me thing. He's right, I'll do your big budget studio movie. I'll make your Thor movie, but then give me 80 million to write about like a post-apocalyptic biker gang made out of 13-year-olds who like stole the bikes from their dads after the nuke went off.
Yeah.
And then and he's like, right, I'll write it. It'll be fun.
He's such a fried man. I'd love to sit down with him and have a talk.
Yeah, I love him.
We should get him on the Silly Dimension.
Guest one.
Next week, guys. You heard it. You heard it here first. Taika Waititi, episode 2 of the Silly Dimension.
Oh dear. Oh, I feel like. Do we have anything else? Any other points of debate?
I don't think so, to be honest.
Like I said, this was just kind of here for a bit of a ramble, a bit of a get to know us.
What else will be coming out soon? Because this has been recorded on the 15th of March, and obviously on the 18th we get the Snyder Cut.
Oh yeah, and then on the 19th we get the first episode of
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I think our plan will be is we'll do one episode on our thoughts on Justice League, and also do a DC casting of heroes and villains and characters that they haven't brought into their universe yet, and who would love to portray them. And then also release a second episode in the same week, all about Falcon the Winter Soldier episode 1 and what we think.
Yeah, I feel like
that's the plan anyway.
I feel like the Justice League one won't be out for a while because it's 4.5 hours. I'm going to be watching that like a TV show.
It'll take us a while.
I'm gonna be watching that in the same way I watched The Irishman, which someone was like, "Don't watch The Irishman as a film. Watch it as 7 half-an-hour episodes." Because of The Irishman had like sort of around about like every half an hour ish, there was a natural point where you could just go, right, cool.
I'll probably sit down and watch it in one go, but
I'll
hate myself for it.
Yeah, I feel like also maybe the DC casting could be a separate episode, seeing as we'll have so much to talk about with.
That's true. That's very true.
And while we're on the topic, of that, I know we've already got a Joker in the DCEU, but I want one person to play Joker across from Pattinson, and one person only, and I will not change no matter how many times people Photoshop makeup onto Sam Rockwell.
Is this Willem Dafoe?
No.
Oh.
I'm gonna make the right wing people on the internet mad, and I'm gonna race swap the Joker.
Oh.
Lakeith Stanfield.
Yes. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That would be incredible.
Lakeith Stanfield and.
To be honest, I reckon you could put him in fucking any role right now and he'd kill it.
Yeah. I've just been watching Atlanta through the 2 seasons that are on Disney Plus, and he's amazing in that because he's just so fried. And I think it's just the things like, because he comes out with stuff that like some of the shit he comes away with is so mad and outrageous, but like Darius is always like at least speaking what he believes to be true, and he's not just saying wild shit for no reason. And I think my favourite one is do you know about Genghis Khan's wheel?
No.
So Genghis Khan used to like roll a wheel from town to town as he was pillaging and killing everyone. And when they got to the village and the Mongols had like just like burned the village to the ground, they lined all the men from the village up. Because he was fucking tiny, he had a fucking short man complex. This wheel was like built to be his height. And they rolled the wheel along a line, and if anyone was taller than the wheel, he killed them. Right? So it was like, and then he would like piss off and leave the town. So he would kill anyone that was taller than him. I don't know why he didn't just stand next to folk. But, you know, this was his thing.
Yeah, okay.
But, like, they rolled this wheel from town to town. And then, like, Darius mentions it in Atlanta. And he's like, you know, that's why Asian people are so short. Because Genghis Khan just killed anyone taller than him. I was like, I don't think that's the evolutionary reason. But at the same time, Genghis Khan made sure there was no tall genes left in China when he was done.
It's true. It's very, I mean, it could be.
Yeah, but I know
isn't something like a third of Europe and Asia like can trace their lineage back to Genghis Khan as well or something?
Oh yeah, because he was what a mad guy.
Biggest war criminal in history.
Oh yeah.
Well, besides America.
That too, yeah. But yeah, also I think for my I've just realised all my DC fan castings are.
Is it just like Keith Stanfield for every role?
No. Michael K. Williams for Hugo Strange.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Or Daniel Brühl if we want to like shave his head and keep the accent. If we want to make Hugo Strange American, Michael K. Williams or Daniel Bro.
Yeah. Has Lars Mikkelsen?
Who's that?
You know Mads Mikkelsen?
I'm
I
aware.
think Lars is his big brother.
Huh. I'm trying to think of the face.
I don't know what he's been in, actually.
But also, I was going to say, for the DC fan casting, I have castings for characters who haven't made it to the DCEU, who I think would fit in the pre-existing framework. And also ones that, you know, if DC decide, look, it's not working, let's just fucking blow it up and just go back to individual franchises like we're doing with the Batman.
Yeah.
I've got some for them.
Okay.
But I do just think we should just get rid of Jared Leto and replace him with Keith Stanfield.
Well, you don't need to get rid of Jared Leto. Just keep him alongside Batfleck.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Here's the thing. I still think Jared Leto probably in all the cutting room floor for.
I mean, we'll see it in Snyder Cut. He's got a fair bit of run screen time in that. Because the whole nightmare sequence has been lengthened. I think it's like an hour long or something now, and a lot of that is with Joker and Batman.
But was that?
We've got a lot of back and forth between them.
See, but I'm more curious to see. Is it Matt Ayers? David Ayer. Yeah. I'm curious to see. I would rather see David Ayer's original vision for Suicide Squad with that extra 45 minutes Jared Leto.
Yeah, same.
Because he got free rein to write that movie, and he was like, okay, so I'm going to write Joker as an abuser because he is. And in the studio were like, we can't market that though. So then he just had to lose 45 minutes of footage.
It's not perfect, is it?
It's not fun.
We might get more of a view into that. I don't know obviously how Snyder will take it. We'll just need to wait and see.
Yeah.
But I'm actually quite optimistic about the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, I'm being cautiously optimistic because it still is a Zack Snyder film.
It's going to take me like a full day to watch.
Yeah. But yeah, I suppose we'll call it there for the first episode of The Silly Dimension. Could have been a lot sillier, but listen, we're flying by the seat of our boxers.
Exactly. You see, next week it'll be even. Every week I'll just get sillier and sillier and sillier and sillier.
And I have a prop.
And you have a prop. Also, I don't know what's happened, but your mic volume is very low right now. It's a good thing this is the outro.
I'll just get close. All close and personal. Yeah, I thought of an idea for a prop for just to enhance the silliness. I thought of it last night, and then the boss came into work for the end of the night for like closing up as I was about to buy it, and I forgot to buy it. So the prop arrives tomorrow. I will not be showing you tomorrow. I will be showing you when we record this next episode, and by showing you, I will let you experience it at the same time the viewers and listeners do.
Oh God, this will be ideal.
So, if you've made it this far, thank you very much for listening. We will be back within the week with a DC fan cast, a Justice League review, and a Falcon and the Winter Soldier review.
Yes. And a hell of a lot more silliness.
Yeah, much more silliness. So, thank you very much for listening. I will leave all of our relevant social medias down below if you want to ruin your life and follow us.
Yeah, it's a bad decision.
It really is. So for now, thank you very much. And I'm going to have to kick you out through that door in the Mr. Blobby house from the beginning. Remember the door? Remember the Mr. Blobby house? I'll have kicked you out through the door.
We love you though. You can come back. We'll make tea and biscuits for you next time.
And you're now no longer in the silly dimension.